What up, players? This is Beat here with Team Denzen on the YouTube channel, talking with Michael Ryan, who got 6th place, so top 10 at the Bloomington, Minnesota Regional. So he was playing. What were you playing, Michael?
I was playing Altergiest, and I went 6-1-1.
6-1-1. What was your loss?
My loss was to Salamangreat, and my tie was to Necroz in the 7th round.
7th round, so made it to the top table. So, alrighty, we're gonna go through deck list here. All right.
So for the monsters, start off the 1 Faker, because that one is pretty good.
Need it.
And then for 3 ofs for the monsters, 3 Marionetter. It's standard. It's pretty good. And then 3 Meliseek. This is by far probably the best one, even over Faker, I would say, because it prompts everyone to use all the interruptions before battle phase and all that stuff. So it's really good, and it searches Faker too. So.
But still, Faker to 3 would always.
Yeah, Faker to
it'll come back, right?
It'll come back at some point. And then for 2 elves, I have 2 Silk. It's standard. It's really good. It's a compulse on legs.
Is that at 2 or is it at 3 right now?
No, it's at 3. But you just don't want to see this in your hand, and that's why you have 2 of. And you need the second copy, because if you don't have a way to recur it and this goes to the graveyard, you need the second one to keep multi-figure alive.
Okay.
And then for the 1 of, the 1 Concurry, I've seen people play this at 2. I don't like it at 2 because what you can do actually with Silk, if you have Silk on the field and you have Concurry in your hand, you can Concurry to stop an attack, and then you can Silk this back to your hand, and then you can Concurry for another attack. Because it's not once per turn, it's really good. So I only like 1 because it breaks.
Yeah.
And then for the hand trap monsters,
the Altergiest.
Yep, just the 3 Ash Blossom. For regionals, it's pretty good. It doesn't have a lot of high impact against a lot of like the bigger decks like Skystar or Orcus or anything like that. For referring a rogue matchup, the Ash Blossom, right thing, stops their turn.
Yeah.
So that's it for the monsters. And then for the spells, the run 3 Extravagance. I would not play the deck without the Extravagances.
All right.
You just need the resource management out of it, and you really don't care about your extra deck.
Did that ever hurt you, banishing the whole tournament?
Not this tournament. It actually, I was super good. I always had at least 2 Hexia in my extra deck after using 1 of them. It kind of hurt me against the in my 6th round against Cyber Dragons because I had to use it twice, but it didn't really come up all that much, and I only saw the 1, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, all right.
And then I also ran 2 Duality. I usually sided 1 out game 2. Sometimes I sided both out if I really needed more side deck cards. But Duality is good because you can use it off Extravagance. It's kind of self-explanatory and standard.
Don't they normally run 3 of that?
Normally, I've seen 3 and 2 or 3-1 and then 1 for 1. I didn't really like 1 for 1 because you don't run a ton of monsters. You have to discard a monster, and you want to keep usually all of your monsters live in your hand. So,
okay.
That's it for the spells. And then for the Altergeist traps, you run 3 personal spoofing. It's personal spoofing. It's really good. It should be an Altergeist card, but then it'd be broken. Yeah. And then 2 protocol. It's standard. I thought about running 3, but it's not as good as I thought it was when I was testing it out. Because you would see it too many times and you wouldn't see the ones that you want. But it's really good. It's good to set off of Marionetter, but it's not the best one. The best one is the Manifestation. I've seen a lot of players run 2 because sometimes you can't recur from the graveyard, but if you manage your resources correctly, 1 is just enough because you can just keep using Silk to bounce this back to your hand, and then just keep recurring Silk for that compulsive return.
Right. Would you bump that up to 2 at all? Or do you like it at 1?
I like it at 1. I mean, well, if you ran like, what is the card? If you ran the other pot, the Pot of Desires, I would probably run it at 2, but since like you only have Faker at 1, I wouldn't run Pot of Desires ever in this deck.
Banishing it would kill you.
Yeah, banishing it would kill you if you don't have the resources set up. Yeah, but that's it for the Altergeist traps. And then for the regular traps, the 3 infinite impermanences. One's secret just to fool people because sometimes I side one out, and if I keep the 2 altars in there, they think, oh, you're still playing 3. That's kind of a joke, but
psych them out.
Yeah, got to play the mind game at some point. But no, infinite impermanence, self-explanatory. I did not imperm Faker anybody once this entire region.
Oh, really? That's so good.
No imperm Faker, which is unfortunate. And then I did run the Solemn package, so the 3 Judgment, the 3 Strike.
It's heavy cost.
And then the 1 Warning.
Would you change the strike package at all? Anything different?
I might cut the Warning. The Warning actually didn't do enough. It's the worst one in my opinion. It is nice if you don't see any of these other ones, just to stop like any weird summon or anything like that. But you generally run these 6, and you have to run these 6 because you have to have that interaction on your opponent's turn.
What would you take the Warning out for if you really wanted to, or just cut it down? Because you're running 40, right?
Yeah, I'm running 40.
Yeah.
I might have cut this for a third of another card that I'll show you guys in a sec. But it did come up, and it helped during one matchup for sure.
And you're able to, after counter traps, you're still able to do.
Yeah, I mean, it'll still do Faker, because if it's just a trap activating, it doesn't matter what trap.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
I was able to Judgment Faker and Strike Faker all day, so that's really nice. I did not Warning Faker.
So I know running the Solemn package typically kills you when you go into time.
Yeah,
did that happen to you at all?
That did not happen to me. I did have to strike 2 times in game 3 against one person, but I was able to get them down to enough life that in time I won by like 1,500 life at the end.
Okay.
So it does hurt a little bit going into game 3, but you need to run it, and it's really good.
Right.
And then the other 3 is Compulse Evacuation Device. This card is insane in Altergeist, just because, especially against like the Orcus matchup, they make Galatea, you just bounce it back, it ends their turn. And then also on your turn, if you have one set and you have Faker on the field, you can compulse Faker back to your hand to reactivate Faker, just to keep your combo going and able to get Hextia.
Do they normally run this now? I don't really look at Altergeist much.
Yeah. Altergeist usually runs 3 now, just because it's such a versatile trap. If you have any like problem card, you just compulse it back and it's fine. Especially against Pendulum 2, they make Electromite, you bounce it back. They don't have the extra monster zones anymore, and they have to Pendulum summon with less resources in their hand, which is really good.
Nice.
And then for the 2 that normally I've only seen in one other Altergeist list that they ran this 2 in the main deck. The Imperial Iron Wall. I don't have the other one. I had to borrow it off of someone. But this card saved me so many times. I played Sky Circle Orcus twice. And I sacked it against them all ball game 1, and they did not see it coming, and they had to just like end their turn there. And it also, I activated Personal Spoofing and tried to shuffle a card back, and they Cosmic Cyclone, and I chained Iron Wall, and it stops Cosmic Cyclone, so they just effectively paid 1,000 for nothing.
Is this the card that you would put it to 3 then?
Yes, I would put this up to 3 if I took out the Warning, just because this is such a good card in this meta right now, because a lot of things recur. Use the graveyard and banishing. So if you stop that, it's really good. The only thing it doesn't really do much against is Salamangreat, which I did lose to in the last round of Table 1. But there wasn't too many, and there was about 25% Orcus there today, so it helped out a ton. And then, of course, the last card is the Imperial Order at the end. It's good. It does kind of hurt that you have to pay life points all the time, but it's effectively a blowout against a lot of the decks right now.
Oh yeah, shuts out a lot. Pendulum, Sky Strikers.
Shuts out a ton. So I would keep this in there.
All right, well that's 40. 40 there, yeah.
So then for the extra deck, I ran the 3 Link Rebo and the 2 Almirages for the Melee Seek targets. I ran 5 because You're never gonna banish all 5. Like it is statistically possible that you banish all 5. But you're never gonna do it. I think at most I banished 3, and I always had like a Link Karibo and at least an Almirage in there after one extravagance. And I don't run Sangam, the worst card that people run in an Altergeist. I don't know why people run it. It's really bad.
I can see why. You search instantly. Search.
Yeah, I see it, and I could see why we run it if we ever implement the OCG ban list that just came out, where they knocked Milliseek down to 2. I could see why you would run it, but I wouldn't run it, and I would just run these 5.
Okay.
You have enough targets, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then the best card in your extra deck, 3 Hexia. You have to run this card. This card is amazing. If you're making this, you're most likely winning the game. I made it not every game, but I made it at least every match. And once you make it, your opponent has to play through so much, because you can always Faker and then put the Silk there and then bounce Faker back with a Silk, and then you have a spell trap negate. And then for the other 2, I ran the Altergeist Prime Banshee. Never made this. I just wanted to have 5 Altergeist targets because of Faker's restriction for you can only summon Altergeist cards. And I always wanted to be able to make something off of that if I needed to get a big body on board.
Okay, yeah.
And then for the other ones, I ran a small Nightmare package of Nightmare Cerberus and Nightmare Phoenix. These are good just in case you need to like get some monsters off the board, or like the weird there can be only one.
Oh yeah, that hurts you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does a little bit. So these are just there, and then in case you need to get rid of like a Nibiru token, you can just spin that away with Nightmare Cerberus if you don't have like Impulse or Silk.
Okay.
So that one's really good. And then the 3 that I really never made were Mekk-Knight Crusadia, Avermax, Boral Sword, and Boral Load. I did make Boral Load against the Cyber Dragon player when I had no other targets except for these 2 in my extra deck. And that was honestly a mistake. I should have made that. I would have won in game 2, but then we went to game 3 and I still won.
Okay.
But I never made this. These are just there just for extra. You can use you can just use any Link 4. I just wanted some variety just to make sure, like, if I ever needed it, it would come up.
If it's there, rather have it then.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then for the side deck, I ran 3 Nibiru. This card, I sided in a ton, never saw it. In theory, it's really good. It would have been really good against the Salad player. Didn't see it, unfortunately. But yeah, it's Nibiru. It's really good. A lot of people can negate it, but it's a lot better than Sphere Mode right now, I think. And then I ran the 2 Pankratops. This is really good because I was kind of worried about True Draco. And this really hurts them because it's a 2600 body. It's really big. And it also is better for like if you're playing against like not a huge back row deck, but they do set like 1 or 2. You can just special to Pankratops, and sometimes you can bait some stuff with it.
Right.
And also it's just a big body that you get. And then for the 2 spells, I ran the Secret Village of Spellcasters. Never sided this in. I didn't when it came up. I didn't really need it, so I never sided it in. In theory, it's really good against like pure Sky Strikers or Pendulum, but Pendulum can usually just normal summon a Spellcaster, and then they can just be free to go off. Yeah, it works against Striker, but there's so many better cards, and now Sky Striker's playing Orcas, so it doesn't really help. I would probably cut this for something. I don't know what. Maybe like Sunland or something like that. But
most players main that with a Metaverse or a Terraform.
Yeah, they do. And I've seen people playing Metaverse with Necro Valley just to stop the banishing, but I like the Imperial Iron Wall better because you could chain Faker off of it.
Right, okay.
And then for the traps, I played 3 Evenly for going second.
Did you ever see this or need it?
I saw it a couple times. I saw it against a Necroz player game 2. It was good. It did not evenly Faker anyone, unfortunately. It's good, and it's a killer for back row decks, and I was kind of scared about facing like either the mirror match or more back row decks like Guru or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
So I just really wanted to have some form of interaction against them for that. It's good. I would keep it. It just didn't see it enough, I would say. And then the card that is really good.
Oh yeah.
Never saw it. Even when I sided it in, I never saw it. Was the Heavy Storm Duster. It's really good. It's especially good against Babel because you set this and then they start going and then they set Babel and then you chain to it the set. You just pop their Babel, and usually they're only playing one because it's searchable. So it kind of just ends their turn there. It's really good. I like it, but I wish I saw it. And then the two that I kind of wish I took out, I was maining this before, but I took it out for the Imperial Iron Walls, Lost Wind. It's really good, and it helps you recur back, especially if you're facing like stuff that tries to rip cards out of your hand. If you can rip this out, and then you can, if they special, you can just set it right away, which is really good.
Yeah.
But I thought Imperial Iron Wall was better, and I only set it once against Salamangrate, and it didn't really matter because they kept proccing it immediately, and they would just relink into anything else.
Right. Okay. Anything that you would change? Obviously, the couple cards that you just mentioned, Lost Winds.
Yeah, I would change the Lost Winds. I would take them out for something else, maybe like Summon Limit or something like that. And then the other one I might change would be like the Secret Village. I like the main deck. I liked it where it was at. I don't think I would change anything like that right now. But I'd take these out. I'd probably put in like a third Pankratops. And then probably maybe 3 Summon Limit. I think Summon Limit's really good. I took it out right now because usually Skyscraper Orcas, they're playing Summon Limit to stop a lot of the combo heavy decks because they summon twice on your turn and twice on my turn, just like how Altergeist works. But yeah, so I just took it out. I thought these would work better, but they didn't really come up, unfortunately.
Okay. And what was your draw was Necros and your loss was?
My draw was Necros and my loss was Salamangrate. I 1-1 them, and then game 3 I was gonna go for game, but they had the Valkyries in their hand to essentially work like a Battle Fader. So that kind of sucked. And then round 7 or round 8 against Salamangrate, I opened up really bad. I opened up 2 Silk, 2 Ash Blossom, and then a 5th card I don't remember. So I lost that game. And then game 2, I opened up okay. I opened up Personal Spoofing and Imperial Order. The other cards didn't really matter all that much. I know I had an Altergeist Trap that I could send back for like Faker. So on their turn on standby phase, I flipped it up and I shuffled back in, and he tried the Cosmic Cyclone, and I chained Imperial Order, and then he chained Twin Twisters of that. So I essentially lost right after that.
So you got 2-0 on that last one?
Yeah, I got 2-0 on that one.
Bad. How many people were surprised that you were up there?
A lot. I was even surprised. It was my first top and my first invite at a regional, so I was just happy I was going to be there.
Yeah, way to get pumped. All right, yeah. Well, you're gonna keep playing this deck again now that you got it. You're gonna change it up.
We'll see what happens with the ban list. I think I'm gonna keep playing it for now. I love how Altergeist works with this format. It's really good against the meta decks right now. Yeah. But we'll see what happens if Orcus gets hit. It might not be the greatest, but that's the good thing about Altergeist. You can just keep changing out cards, and you should be okay.
Test things out. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.